Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the Camera Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood. I'm here with a team from Soul Addiction. Let's take a look at the clip.
It's your boy Mac Glover filling your airways with the truth. So get into the move and into your morning groove, especially all my sneaker junkies waiting for those limited edition Tory Hanjo joints.
Man, gonna get my kicks, kick with my boys, no drama, no camp out.
Smooth sailing, bro.
Go, brother.
1, 2, 3, sneakers.
I sold your customs.
Yo, all three?
All three.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I interrupting something? Damn.
Look at all these people in line, bro.
You know I had to stun on some of these fake ass sneakers.
Welcome. Thank you very much for your film. It's been fantastic to have you. I loved it, as a lot of people out there haven't seen it. So tell us a brief synopsis, Kevin, of your film.
Yeah, Soul Addiction is about 4 friends really trying to find themselves, and the common bond are sneakers.
Yeah.
You know, that's what really brought them together as kids. 3 of the main characters grew up as children together. One of them's a younger brother. One of them, he's kind of like their mascot in a way. He's kind of, they're teaching them the ways of the force, I guess, in sneakers. And it's just kind of like that one night where a lot of things going on in their lives are just kind of converging together, and they just have to deal with a lot of their personal stuff, especially like the main character of Isaiah, dealing with it's around the anniversary of his mother's death. Like, he's obsessed with sneakers, but he also doesn't believe in himself either, and he's just trying to make moves, but he's too afraid. And I think a lot of people relate to that, but it's just kind of like how important friendships are, and the common bond of just shoes, you know, the power of shoes.
The power of shoes.
Sneakers,
And let's face it, this is serious business. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people that, you know, sneakers is life, and you know what I mean? So this was not like something that, I know a lot of people that really feel this way. And I think you had the most like beautiful friendships. Like, you could really feel their friendships. It was brilliantly acted, and you could certainly feel that. Before we get into that, where did the inspiration come for you in creating this particular project?
So actually, funny thing how I even started it was I tore my knee ligaments playing basketball in college. And so it was during winter break, and I was one of those reclined like knee machines that were doing that therapy. And then for some reason, at that point, I'd never considered acting. I never considered filmmaking. I thought I was going to go either to business school or get my PhD in sociology. And then I don't know where the heck this playbook was at my place, and I started reading it, and it was American Buffalo. I'm like, oh, that's cool, dialogue. I can write dialogue. So I just wrote a narrative and a story, and I just wrote what I knew. And I wrote like this story about some friends with sneakers, and it was maybe like 2-3 pages, pumped it out. And then I think I revisited it like a couple days later, and then I was like, I'm gonna write more words to this, and I just created this script, and it was a like maybe 40 pages I wrote like in 3 days or something like that, 40-50 pages, and then right when I thought that's when maybe contemplate acting. And then so I took an acting class, and then from that acting class I wanted to do a play, but all the plays had been cast. And so there was one class where students write their own plays, but for some reason the semester prior they were supposed to write those plays in the fall. In the spring they're supposed to put them on. For some reason they didn't do the class in the fall. They were still going to do the plays. They were in a rush, and one of my best friends, he's one of my production partners, and he was working on a lot of projects. He read the story, he liked the concept, and I told him, don't show this to the teacher because it sucks. And also, I'm like, you know, as a creative, like everything sucks that you do. And he actually told her about it, and she says, I love it, let's do it. And it was supposed to be a 10-minute play, but we were fortunate it was a 45-minute play. So I literally got thrown into the fire. And
in a great way, because obviously you're very
talented.
talented, so you know, that's great. I love how this was a play. You know, it's so great, and I think really like performance-wise as well, you can really see it because you know you've obviously got a great team right here sitting next to you. Chavonne, how did you get involved with this project?
I met Kevin actually in acting class. Well, first in Berkeley. We went to Berkeley together, go Bears, and reconnected in acting class. And some time went by, and I just probed him and said, hey, you have some material I'm looking to get into producing. It was my first time producing anything.
I love it.
And I was like, yeah, I have this script for sneakers. I was like, sneakers? That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, let me take a look. And I loved it. And we decided to go ahead and do the play. We did it for 3 nights in LA. And the amount of support that we got for Soul Addiction was just, I think we were both just thrown off and really excited. People loved it. They came back several times.
Yeah.
The last night, I'll never forget, there was an overflow of people.
Isn't that great? Oh yeah, we've done it.
We tried to like tell them like, hey, you guys don't have a seat in the theater, but there was in the lobby, there were the television screens. They were like, we're fine out here. We will just look at it from the TV
What?
screens.
That's amazing.
We're okay. And I was like, okay, I think Kevin, we probably have something if they're that excited about it. So we decided to then go into doing the short film.
Cool, we gotta take you guys to Broadway. I mean, let's just do it, you know.
Yeah.
And again, the third one of the Berkeley Jacques, so it's like amazing, like the whole trilogy. How did you get involved?
So I was introduced to them by one of the people that collaborated with them on the play. So I came post play. I'm a producer, writer, and I've always had an affinity for sneakers, obviously. And I grew up in the sneaker culture. I have friends that do that as a business, and so I had a desire to create something around that. And my friend was like, "Hey, I know somebody that did a play that is about sneaker culture," and she introduced me to him, and then he then introduced me to Chavonne, and we all sat down, and I really loved the script, and I was like, "Let's do this. Let's make this film," you know.
Amazing.
And you know, we just put the pieces of the puzzle together, and we then have Soul Addiction.
And being part of the sneaker world, you actually sacrificed your own.
I was willing to
sneakers
sacrifice
in a very, very desperate scene in this particular.
Sometimes you got to go the extra mile.
Yeah, I know, really. You know, I mean, I love it. Well, you can tell you got a great team, and you can tell. You know, I think sometimes you can really sense on camera just how great your team is, how great your cast is, how tightly knit they all are together. Tell us a little about your cast, because I really like immediately fell in love with all the characters. And you know, there's so many good interaction scenes where they're in the car together, and just how they interact with each other. Like you could just tell they were just friends for a long time. They all had different issues going on, different things that maybe they didn't want to express, but sneakers brought them all together, which was just great. Tell us a bit about your casting process.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing, so I think for the most part, we auditioned everybody, but I knew about 75% of the roles who I wanted it to go to, just because of years of being in class.
Including yourself,
Brilliant
role yourself.
Thank you. And I was just like, you know, that person would be really, really good. Or sometimes it just kind of came into a class for a few days, but I always kept in contact, always remembered them. And so I thought that would be great. So I had them all come in, and unless like somehow they like didn't show up or like they bombed the audition or whatever, they got that part, but they just wanted to see like what they can do with it as well. But then other parts, we were like, we don't know who to cast.
Like Gary, right?
Gary,
I found he wasn't even
He's not
really
an
there
actor.
for the audition.
No,
Really?
He was there casting another project.
Yes,
Wow.
he was there casting another project. I had gone outside to my car, and I saw him on the phone, and I was like, he's perfect for the role of Gary. I just knew it, and I just walked up to him. I said, "Hey, you're probably not an actor, or are you?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Great, we want you to go audition for this role." He was like, "What?" He just looked at me like I'm this crazy person, but I just knew something innate.
That's
was just
amazing.
like he's the perfect person for it.
He
Just
did a great job,
just
though.
the way
Yeah,
that
he
he
did.
carried himself was perfect for the role.
And how did he feel like after experiencing his first acting, which you brought to him, obviously?
Yeah, he had a blast. He loved it.
Yeah.
We had fun. He did the play, so he obviously
Amazing.
did the short as well. He denies his acting skills, but he's a
does.
great
Oh,
actor.
yeah.
So good.
He's a
I think
really
he
good
did a great
filmmaker
job.
too, though.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Yeah.
imagine anyone else in that role. You know?
Yeah.
It's- it's amazing.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
he, I think it was the second night or the third night, he was getting comfortable. And this is something that actors typically would do. He right before, because there's a scene between he and I in the play. That's a really intense scene. And he's pretty much calling me out on my stuff in it. Because his character is much more cemented in being a grown-up in the project. And so right before we go out, he's like, "Hey man, I want to do this and that." And I'm looking at him like, "You got the bug, man. Now you're playing with it, you're doing it." And I'm like, "Just do whatever and just go with it." And then actually he got an audition for a feature film because of Soul Addiction.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't
As
that
well.
great?
So he, it's a funny thing. He's just
What
like,
proud parents you must feel now, you know?
yeah,
So
for
proud.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
But a journey, but
it's been a ride, yeah.
I mean, I was going to ask you because, like, from a producing standpoint, you gave yourself, I think, a lot of challenges. Like, you had a lot of, exterior. you got a lot of people involved in a lot of your scenes as well. Like, how on earth did you do that? Because I was looking at the night scene, you know, the scene where everyone's lined up outside, and I'm like looking at the scene where it's the car, and I thought, God, you've given yourself some challenges. How was it? Was it all easy?
No.
No.
None of it was easy. I'll let you. I mean, it obviously shooting outdoors on busy streets are always going to be challenging. You know, from getting the permitting to, you know, making sure you can control the sound, the set, things of that nature. I mean, you know, we did our best. You know,
you did a great job.
We did our best, and hopefully it shows. But yeah, there were definitely challenges.
Yeah, I remember we trying to wrangle more extras for sneaker camp out, because one of the big things that sells shoes, you guys probably go in Fairfax, you guys go to places in New York, at Kith, or wherever, there's always a horde of people. So like I think one of the biggest challenges is like how to get more people. We even at one point we had one of our PAs, she literally made these handwritten cards, ran out to a busy part of somewhere on Melrose, gave out cards, we need more people. Some people actually came. Yeah. But we ended up, luckily I brought a lot of clothes. So then there's actually Chavonne popped in on one scene. My wife popped in. She was in there somewhere.
Bring the whole family.
Yeah, of course,
right? There you go.
There was one scene where I wasn't in, so I literally tossed on a jacket, dropped on a Kangol hat. Yeah. And my back is turned. And so you never see me. But then we did that a couple times. We had to just like layer and stack and redress and wardrobe people. Creative. It was crazy. Yeah.
There's definitely a lot less people than it looked.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I looked like there was like, you know, it was a whole entourage you had there. It was amazing. Yeah. I think one thing I love, I was saying to Chavonne before we even started, I love the style of it. Like, it's cool, it's vibrant. I love the textual emojis and things. It's like, you know, I was like, this is so 2018. I love it. It's just brilliant. You know what I mean? You know, was it something you wanted to kind of make feel like this is today, like today? I mean, of course, it's been going on for, you know, the soul addiction is not something new, but it's great how it's evolved into today, and I think it's probably only got bigger today than probably ever has been, right?
Yeah, it's just the relatability factor. I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, the inspiration behind the film, like, or this project was like Lamour, that French film, The Warriors, Do the Right Thing. So a lot of those projects, so incorporating like those stylistic, you know, images and shots from like those older films, but bringing it just to the now.
Making it current.
I think that's important because there's so many cool things happening in 2018. Just the graphics and how we communicate. And we communicate through emojis. Like, we can do a lot just graphically. And looking back, maybe 10 years from now, we'll say, oh, okay, this was definitely in 2018. The nostalgia piece that we wanted to bring together. So.
And you know, obviously there's some really great, quirky, brilliant comedic moments that was taking place throughout the film, and I literally, like, one of my favorite scenes ever is just literally, I'm not going to give anything away, but someone steps on someone's shoe, and you know, it's an epic scene, and it's real. I've actually never felt so tragic about something. But then at the same time as that, there's some also, you know, very deep, you know, things that are going on with each of them individually. And I think one thing as well, like, you've got just four guys trying to get on in their lives, you know, trying to do the right thing, trying to do good. They've got all these great mentors around them, and it's tough when your character is you know, it's like, again, it's way more than he maybe even initiated or even knew at that moment. Was this guy was a mentor, kept him off the streets, you know, he really gave him a focus, and Sneakers was that way. And, you know, and I think you don't underestimate the sort of the value of like how certain things in your life can influence you to go in a certain direction, which may have taken another direction. And then at the same time, you have these four great lads who are just, you know, gathering these experiences, and then, you know, oh yeah, quite typically you get stopped by a cop, and it's like, oh, here we are, and you're like, no, like this can't be happening. You don't understand, these guys were just, you know, out there regularly doing the thing, and here we have a very unfortunate situation that exists in this country, and we're tackling through. Is that something as well you wanted to sort of like tackle as far as the audience perspective and how they take away your film as well?
Yeah. I mean, because as lighthearted as a film is, it's just like, honestly, like a night of these guys. You know, this is stuff that really happens. Being pulled over with friends, being questioned extra hard for no reason. You know, and then it was also just important to me, especially with the political climate nowadays, especially. And then, you know, I even wrote like that type of scene like a few years ago, but then even now it
it's
speaks
current
way more
still.
volumes.
So
It's, I mean, it's current.
It's
always
current
has
still.
been,
So,
but
yeah.
now it's like, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just you know, even remember shooting that scene was just crazy, just because the performance of the actor that played the main cop and his partner, you know, they did such a great job.
Yeah.
That was a scene like we didn't have to do tons of takes, but it was just one of those things where like it hit home. We rehearsed it so many times during the play, so once we did it, people just fell into it for the most part. And
I mean, from watching the characters, particularly, you know, during that scene, I mean, I was just I know their characters, but in admiration of almost like, I don't know that I could button my lip as much as what they did. You know what I mean? Of course, you're in that situation, but it's like, it is hard. And I think it's you know, within this amazing world and this sneaker world and what brings friends together, there's also a lot of other insane challenges that we have to face and what certain people have to face, and we got to work through those as well, right?
I think more than anything, it's really like a coming of age story.
Yeah.
It's that moment in time where their lives are kind of turned upside down.
Yeah.
The people that you looked up to, the store owner, is now
Walker.
going out of business.
Yeah.
Who was a very influential person in his life, his character's life. The
everyone's
cop
like
scene,
leaving him. Yeah.
The cop
It's like
scene is like, wow, okay, I guess we're not as invisible as we
Yeah.
thought we were.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of things that hit home when you're starting to mature.
It's like that pivotal moment in your youth. I always
Yeah.
like to say, I mean, coming of age is like the definition, but it's like
Yeah.
I think we all have that moment where we realize like, all right, this is who I am in this world.
Yeah.
And I have a choice now.
Yeah.
To you know, I have, you know, there's multiple avenues where I can go, and I have to make a decision, you know?
Because at that age, you sort of almost feel like you're a bit invincible, and
Yeah.
you're like, what? The world's, you know, I'm always going to be young, and here we go. And then they don't realize that in the next 5 years of their lives, life's going to change dramatically, and some might be married, some might have kids, whatever it may be, but it's like, it is. And, you know, but again, I think what I loved about your film so much, and what really resonates, I think it will resonate with a lot of different people that have obviously been through that age and coming of age as well, which is great. Even reminds you of the crazy little things that you did do as a kid as well. And then how differently life can go. It can go one way or the other. But the great thing they all have is this friendship. And I think what I liked about how you brought the whole scenes together is that it wasn't, you know, I think sometimes, again, you can kind of flip away too soon, but you sort of left us in the moment, just sort of like figure out what was going through. Is that something you wanted to sort of do?
Yeah, I mean, that's funny. The ending was just like,
Yeah,
It was a
the ending.
Ending was tough.
it was a
Yeah.
toss
That was
up,
tough.
and there's like
Yeah,
50
thank you for leaving me with that. That was hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was tough just because you know how we
There's
ended
more
with the
story to tell, right?
There's more story to tell, and then I wanted to leave it at that point just because, you know, at that point, you know, the Isaiah character that I play, you know, he's pretty much told, like, yo, you have a choice. Why don't you just make yourself happy? But then he comes into that situation where he's trying to leave it, but his past kind of is haunting him a little bit, and it puts him in a bad spot. And so it's kind of leaving it like that type of an ending. You're like, well, where's this guy gonna go?
Yeah.
Is he gonna learn from his mistakes?
Yeah.
Is he not?
Yeah.
You know, is he just gonna be another one of those stories where he looks back 10, 15, 20 years from now and be like, I could have done that.
Yeah.
But he's just like now he's like the bitter dude
Yeah.
who just didn't follow his dreams.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But I think that's great. You left us all thinking and imagining and going away and thinking, you know. And I think one thing, people can self-reflect by watching your film, you know, about things that they've done and experienced. I think it's always a great thing. What was it like then after literally going from what you thought was not very good to making a play, to then meeting your amazing producers and team to work together, to then seeing it on the big screen, New Filmmakers LA, and taking it around with an audience? What is that experience like for all three of you?
Yeah, because I got to say, first and foremost, without both these people, like, well, first of all, without Chavonne, the play wouldn't have gotten made, because it would have been sitting on the shelf somewhere, because it was something I wanted to do. And then she came up to me and we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, but we moved so fast. I didn't have even time to think about second guessing, should we do it? It's like, cool, let's do it. And like literally the next day, it's like, all right, so where's the script? Where's it at? I'm like, oh, cool, it's
That's what I
here
liked
you go.
about
Great
working
sign
with
of a good producer.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
She made
Yeah.
it. It was like, you know, even in the moments where you hesitate, she's like, no, it's moving.
Let's just go. Let's just go.
Basically, it's
I love
moving.
it.
You need to.
Like, I booked the rehearsal
But I
spot.
appreciate that
booked the-
because
yeah.
I, you know, I like any creative will tend to hesitate because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I don't know if I should do this,
Yeah.
or I'm not ready or whatever. I mean, I'm sure you know that about me.
Yeah.
But so it's great to work with someone that knows how to like push you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, not in a way that you don't feel like
Yeah.
you're not gonna do it well, but like, you know, you need that push.
Yeah.
That's important. So I can.
We
I
all
can
need a
definitely-
Chavonne in our life.
Yeah, we do.
That's basic
We
too,
do.
yeah.
Siobhan, that's
So
we
funny.
put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
You know, we put that on a shirt. But then, you know, also, but without her moves, then we wouldn't have met Jacques.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
we, so one element of the play was that we actually had poet speaking within certain
Yeah.
transitions. And so that's always been at the beginning of the play, and it was just an important part because like music's such a big thing about it.
Oh
as
my
well.
God, the music was amazing.
Yeah,
I was
all
gonna-
original
oh my
stuff.
God, it's so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, and then so one of the poets, we had two poets alternate on play nights, and so one of the poets was that was his friend that connected us.
Ah.
And then me and Chavonne were like, we need to make this short. We need to make this short. I'm like, cool. And then we met Jacques right away. You know what? What do you have? I'm trying to remember now what he was wearing, but I remember he had some dope sneakers on. Oh, there were some Jordan 1s. I remember he rocked some Jordan 1s. I was like, okay, this guy is clearly a sneakerhead. Or either A, he bought some shoes and is trying to impress, but those came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
So then I was already analyzing it all. And so he came on, and then it wasn't even that difficult. We maybe met once or twice.
We met twice.
Twice, and then the
Once,
second
then
time
another
we're like,
yeah, let's do this.
yeah, he's just like, hey guys, I'm down.
Yeah.
Cool. Me and Chavonne were
What's
like,
happening?
okay, cool, I guess it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
so,
do this.
So yeah, so
Well,
it was great.
it's amazing when you've gone through such a journey together. You found a really solid team, as you know. No matter where you are, it's really important to have a good family of you know, producing and making it happen together. What is next for you both, together or individually?
Myself, I've been lucky. Booked a couple feature films. Actually, I booked a feature film because casting director saw Soul Addiction.
See, that's what it's about,
yeah,
isn't it? That's why
it
you
is.
get all the sweat, blood and tears.
Yeah. So I just had another audition because of Soul Addiction this
See?
past week.
Awesome.
So yeah, so two
Awesome.
features coming out. Rewriting Soul Addiction.
Not to mention, we love your hat. If you
Oh,
wanna,
thanks.
There you go. See? Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll be making some more because we've been talking about maybe doing the play again, but then also rewrite. Because it's funny, a lot of people come up to us as Soul Addiction as a TV series, which I never fathomed at the beginning. I was like, it was a feature film. But so now we're trying to restructure it in a way where you're still able to introduce the main characters of four, but stretch it out, give them. But this time you have an opportunity to give them more depth. That way.
Yeah.
So just writing and acting and keeping on plugging and doing some projects. So,
That was in my notes, TV series ? Actually. So I'm glad that's in the cards
Great.
as well. What about for both of you?
Yeah, definitely. I think just to piggyback off of what Kevin's saying with Soul Addiction and the growth, we definitely have a website, so people can definitely follow us, souladdiction.net.
Producer.
Yeah. There you go.
And make sure you just pay attention to the news and everything that we're doing. Everything will be posted there. For me, individually, still producing. I want to play with the IGTV landscape, so I'll be doing something specifically for IGTV, and then also playing with some other concepts for the play, and then also for series. Everything is just open.
Excellent.
Creatively.
How about for you, Fine Sir?
For me, honestly, I've kind of devoted a lot of time to writing because I'd like to write something and produce it. So I've been spending a lot of time doing that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, you're all wonderfully talented. We love Soul Addiction. We're addicted ourselves. We want more. So please keep coming on sharing your projects with us because we really love what you work, and obviously you've got a great team together as well. So congratulations, Soul Addiction, everyone.
Thank you so much. It was great.
Awesome.